How's it going, guys? We have hit 5,000 subscribers and I cannot believe that we actually did it. I know I said it in the last video, but thank you guys so much. Like I said, I didn't believe we'd actually hit it this fast, and you guys' comments and, you know, it just reaffirms that I like what I'm doing and I know I'm doing the right thing. So I thought today I would do a Q&A, and there was close to 100 comments on that Q&A video. So I've kind of narrowed it down. I haven't tried to exclude any. I've tried to include them all, but I've put it down to about 56 questions or so because some of you guys asked the same question. So hopefully I have not missed anyone. All right, let's get started. What is some advice for YouTube? I'm just going to say what everyone else says. You know, it's not something that happens overnight. It's something that you have to keep doing over and over. Before you really see some progress. You may feel disheartened, but it is, you know, something you just got to keep doing. It's not an overnight success, and you got to be happy while doing it. You can't fake it, do it for the money or whatever. You know, you've got to have a genuine passion for what you were doing and the enjoyment of it. Do you know any zombie YouTubers? Well, I only know one big one, and that's really Mr. Waffles, and we talk a bit, but I don't know him too well, but that's all I could really say. I only really know smaller YouTubers. When did you start YouTube? So I started my account in 2009, but I don't think I really did content until about 2010 maybe. Maybe it was 2009, I can't remember, but it was for a game called The City of Final Fantasy. First a zombies video you saw. I think it was Syndicate. It was his 115 video on Kino de Toten, and I could not believe how far, holy shit, that was so far at the time. Why did you want to be a zombies YouTuber, and where did you get your name from? To be honest, at the start it was for the fame. I actually did it at the start, and if you go back and look at those videos, you know, they're so sporadic and I just had no idea what I was doing. Did not enjoy it, and there were big bits of time where I just stopped uploading. And I didn't really become as serious and passionate about zombies until about early 2015, and also because I wanted to discuss theories and stuff because I was a really big story guy back then. Now, where did I get my name from? So there was a girl when I was in grade 6, her name was Brittany, and she called me Rissole to insult me because Risk is my last name. So she thought Rissole was an insult, and I never got insulted by it, but I don't know, it just always kind of stuck with me, that name. And when it came to creating an ID for myself online or for the PlayStation, I chose that because it was the first thing that came to my head as a nickname. What would you have done if you didn't have YouTube? To be honest, not much would change. YouTube is just a side thing. It's a hobby. It's not something I'm, making it my number one focus. Who's your favorite zombies YouTuber? I actually don't watch too many zombies YouTubers that much. It's really weird. I make the content, but I don't really watch anyone else's. There are sometimes I'll click it if it's in recommended or whatever. Random, I click on a video, I watch it, but I don't subscribe to the person. I just kind of go on about, maybe come back to them, and that's it. Was there a point where you got bored of zombies? I didn't get burnt out, but I just started playing different games more, started playing zombies less. And so I think that is actually the key with zombies. You can't play it too much. And I know some people do that, but for me, I don't play it too much because I don't want to get burnt out on it. So yeah, I do play other games not to get bored of zombies. Are you thinking about making videos about other games or content? I've actually thought about this for a while. I hate it when a channel I'm subscribed to starts doing content I don't like. So, I'm going to stick completely to zombies with this channel. Maybe the odd video every once in a while about something else. But I'm not going to start doing other games. If I was to ever do that, or vlogging, because I thought about vlogging for a while, it would be on a second channel, but I'm not going to do a second channel right now because I just honestly do not have the time. Will you do a 1K facecam special? I actually did that. When I got to 1,000 subscribers, I did a facecam. Put a link somewhere on the screen. Now, onto zombies. Do you believe when DLC 4 comes out, Treyarch would allow you to play as other characters? No, I don't think they will. It'd be cool, but I don't think they will, nah. What do you think DLC 4 will be like? It has to be epic. I'm thinking it will be something to do with the forest in, that ending cutscene after you die, or in the main menu. Something to do with the forest. That'll be the starting area, and then you go forward through the forest and there'll be the house that everyone talks about. What will happen to zombies after DLC 4? Well, it'll get patches and updates for a while, and I think it's going to live. If DLC 4 is all zombies, what elements would you want to return? Grief. Grief, grief, grief. Grief has to return. I love that mode so much. If you were to make a perk, what would it be? Making a perk that allows you to hold 2 Gobblegums at once. I think that could be very interesting, very good. It could be on all maps. It could potentially be game-breaking with the combinations you could have, but some combinations would be so cool to try out. Favorites, normal weapons and wonder weapons in zombies. Okay, top 3 weapons would be Galil, the 5.7, and the MG42. Top 3 wonder weapons would be the Scavenger, the Baby Gun, and the Paralyzer. Top 3 maps are Call of the Dead, Buried, and Shadows of Evil. Do you prefer the simple or complex maps? I like both. I'm not really sure. I'd like a mix between both. Or I'd just like one map to be simple, and then it goes complex, and then goes back to simple. Grief mode, original crew versus Origins crew. Ooh, that'd be cool. Seeing them face off and what they'd say to each other. Will you play with me? I get that a lot from a lot of people, and the answer is yes, I will play with you. My PSN is Rissole25. You can add me. I do not play with people a lot though, because sometimes I just do not I'm not in the mood to play. And so that's why I appear offline on PSN sometimes. You know, when I do appear online, that's when I'm ready to play. Favorite zombies character? Bricktoffin easily. Black Ops 4 or a new series? I think they'll do a new series. I think they'll call it something else, but I still think it'll be linked into the Black Ops timeline. What old zombies map would you like remade? I'd like to see 5 remade, but I'd like to see it expanded upon it. Do you prefer the Origins or original timeline? I'm going to say original, just because it was about science, and now it's about fantasy, if you know what I mean. Infinite Warfare zombies predictions. I have no idea. The only thing I've seen is like the title card where it's all cartoony. I hope it succeeds, you know, I hope it doesn't suck. I'm not going to play it, but I hope it does well. Origins crew or original crew? I'm going to say Origins crew because they are expanded on so much. Why won't Treyarch add the death machine quote in Black Ops 3? I have no idea. Like, that is one of the things that bugs me when I get it. What was your reaction to the PPSH in Gorod Krovy? So to be honest, I didn't react like everyone else. Like, it's cool, but I wasn't like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever. I never played World at War when it was out. I only played World at War after I played Black Ops 1. And so I don't have the nostalgia for the PPSH. Like, I still think it's cool, but that just isn't with me, and it's like, oh cool, they brought a weapon back. What map has the hardest Easter egg boss? Definitely Gorod Krovy. The Easter egg itself is brutal, some of the steps. But then that boss fight is 2 parts, the Dragon and Nikolai. If you could give any gun a pack-punch name, what would it be? It would be the Ray Gun Mark III. I would call it Porter's X2 Mark III or whatever. Because Maelstrom of Eris, that's a pretty cool name, don't get me wrong, but just with ray guns, I feel like they should have Porter's name. It's clear he didn't design it. What's your highest round? I think that's about 50 on Buried and Transit and Ascension. Least favorite gun? I'm going to say SMR. The M14 is much better because you got a wall by at least, but the SMR is just complete shit. How did you get into zombies? Well, Modern Warfare 2's out, Black Ops is coming out, and all my friends are talking about how Soap threw the knife at Shepard's eye in Modern Warfare 2, and I'm like, that sounds like a cool game. And so I got the next Call of Duty because I wanted to fit in with them, and like, so I know what they're talking about. And that's where I discovered zombies, and I didn't really get into it until Ascension, I believe. Will you be getting the zombies comic? Of course, I'm going to get it. Thoughts on the loading screens not having music anymore? I really hate that. I really do, because it mucks up my loading screen intro. Do you think the Kino remake for Infinite Warfare is real? If so, how do you feel about it? I haven't actually heard anything about Infinite Warfare. You know, usually I would say that's bullshit. They're not going to do a Treyarch map. With these times, I can honestly see Activision saying like, okay, you can borrow this producer's map and put it in your map, and what better way to start off Infinite Warfare Zombies than doing the map that everyone wants now, which is Kino. You know, I can totally see them doing that, and if they do it, I suppose good on them. PPSH or Ray Gun Mark III? I'm going to say the Mark III. Something weird about the PPSH in this game, and I know apparently it's got the exact same stat, but Mark III also because it can slow down zombies. So, what new element would you like Treyarch to add and also bring back? Obviously a new perk. I'd like them to do new perks, and what element I'd like them to bring back? Some of the old Black Ops 2 perks, you know. Okay, so that's zombies done, so we're going to get into About Me. What was the biggest fuck up you've ever done? I got a job, and then I got a job offer for another job, and I turned it down because like, I got a job. I don't need like to go to that job anymore. Turns out that job that I got, I only had like 3 shifts at because I was a casual. And so I regret not taking that other job because I wanted that job in the first place. But I turned it down because the first job I got, I just felt like I had a loyalty to them because they hired me, so I should stick with them, and I fucking regret that every day. So that leads us into what is your job? I actually don't have a job. I want to be a radio announcer. I want to work in the radio broadcasting industry. Right now I volunteer at a community radio station, and I do the news every day, but I'd like to get into announcing and behind the scenes editing and stuff. What kind of music do you listen to? My favorite bands are Muse and System of a Down, but I also like Avenged Sevenfold, Paramore, Linkin Park. It's actually a little bit varied, but it's kind of going to like the rock metal area. But I've also been playing this game called Fury, and the soundtrack and music for that is phenomenal. I absolutely love it, and I brought the soundtrack, and it's called Synthwave or whatever. So I've been listening to Synthwave a lot, and one of the artists called Carpenter Brut, I've been listening to his stuff a lot. How old are you? I'm 23. I turned 23 last week, so happy birthday to me. Where do you live? I live in Australia, in Victoria, and the town I'm in, it's called Ballarat, and it's an alright town, but it's like an elderly town because this was where like everyone went during the gold rush in Australia, and so a lot of people settled here, and a lot of the people is elderly, so some of the stuff doesn't really fit with what I want to do. It's not bad, but yeah. Why did you grow a beard? To be a fucking man. No, I grew it because I just didn't shave it one day. I thought, I'll kind of see where this goes, and I actually liked how I looked with it, so I've just kept it ever since. What is the scariest experience you've ever had? This is to do with this person called the Old Man, and someone asked me about it. That was actually my friend. He asked me about an old man story. So Old Man was this guy who lived in town, and I used to hang with these guys, and they were like troublemakers, and so we'd go there at like midnight, like after midnight at dark or whatever. He'd come out, and he was actually pretty scary. Like you could see his silhouette because it was dark, but we'd be hiding, and you could see him prowling around, and he'd like say stuff, and he'd have something in his hand. I don't know what it is, but it'd be like a hammer or whatever. And it was just fucking creepy and scary. Like you'd get caught or whatever. Which part of the UK do you live in? I don't live in the UK, mate. I live in fucking Australia. Can you do a flip? I tried doing a backflip once, and it ended so bad. Alright, we're into the other category, and this is where the fucking weird stuff is. If you had to pick a button on the PlayStation controller and make it the main button for Kingdom Hearts, what would it be? It'd be square, because square is guard in Kingdom Hearts, but also it's like a counter-attack if you guard successfully, so I'd definitely pick square. Favorite porn? So I've been playing Garrod Krovi a lot, and I've been liking the looks of those dragons, so it'd have to be dragonkin porn, and they'd have to be Siamese triplets, so there's 3 heads, whatever. And, they have to look like Tiamat the Dragon, who has 3 heads. And they have to have really good scales, I reckon, because scales are the best part of a body. Got to have nice feet, and the tail. Don't even get me started on the tail. It's all about that tail action. That's what I like. First time you jerked off. I think I was in year 8, so I would have been 14 then. Yes or no? That's all it says. So I'm going to say yes, always yes. Have you seen Chef? I don't know who that is. So I'm just going to say yes, because I said yes before. Will you make love to my slippery body? Only if you're a dragon. What are your thoughts on Exalty? So apparently he makes, or not apparently, he actually does. He makes a lot of clickbait titles. Like, no joke, he'll put like the ray gun in like the creator class in multiplayer. You think like, oh shit, you can get the ray gun in multiplayer. He did the same thing with the PPSH, and he has a lot of clickbaity thumbnails and all that kind of shit. And he said like he does it so he can get noticed, but I don't think that's worth it. People make it on YouTube without resorting to that. In the long run, it's worse off because everyone's going to remember you as that guy who does the clickbait. If you were in a zombie apocalypse with 1 bullet left, what would you do? So it depends on what the apocalypse was. I suppose if it's just starting, hide it, I'd keep it for safekeeping. If it was like, let's say it was Black Ops 2, kind of apocalypse with the Earth destroyed and all that, I would probably just kill myself because I couldn't deal with that. But if it was at the start, you know, there's a chance I would think that maybe this can end. But if it's that fucked up, you know, no way it's gonna get fixed. So that's it, guys. That's my Q&A. Thank you for all the questions. Thank you for being here. I had a lot of fun answering them. And so, you know, I hope you guys enjoy my content, and I'm gonna be here. I'm sticking around. Gonna be doing this during the next 3 years until the next zombies game comes out. And yeah, I will see you guys around. Cheers.